You're watching our State of DCA report, where we'll be giving our opinion on that surprising Avengers Campus news, more surprises from Food and Wine, and just how busy the park was today.
Sure it's fun.
All coming up next, if I survive this ride. But first, let's get into that vibe check down Buena Vista Street. Where it is presently a Monday afternoon, 11:57, and the vibe, I have a strong suspicion, is going to be kind of bonkers because I've been, as I usually do a little B-roll here before we get into things, and there's a lot of people out here on Buena Vista Street right now. I don't know what it looks like in the rest of the park, but Buena Vista Street, the vibe is here. Hi guys, the people are here. They seem happy to be here. It is a very electric energy on Buena Vista Street. In fact, I kind of had a sneaking suspicion that would be the case. When I arrived, I parked at Mickey & Friends. I'm doing some recon for a future video about how to park at Disneyland, so I've been doing a lot of reps parking there. I parked at Pixar Palace. Completely bonkers there as well. It took me about 45 minutes, I think, to actually get, it just took a while. I'm not sure what the exact time was, but it took a long time, very dense, so I'm not surprised to see this scene out here today, which is nice, because I think this is Food and Wine that pulls this in, by the way, because we were here last Monday doing our State of Disneyland, and the vibe was very, it was chill. It was almost dead, but in a good way. It wasn't like, like it shouldn't have been empty. It's just, very chill afternoon. But I think that Food and Wine is doing its job here. Look at those trees, you guys. Those are the pink trumpets. If they're the same trees that there are at the hub at Disneyland, they're pink trumpets, as I have learned from the internet. And I just love this. We're about 10 days from the official start of spring, but it's here. Very toasty, very sunny, chill morning, but it's getting warm. Man, this is gonna be good. And speaking of Food and Wine, I've got some things to talk about in that regard, as we alluded to in the intro. I've got some opinions on Food and Wine. We're gonna eat some more of that Food and Wine food as well. We're gonna hit a spot that we didn't get to when our, 2 Fridays ago. Looking forward to trying some new food out this afternoon. We'll be talking about the news that has come out of SXSW regarding Avengers Campus when we get there. But oh my gosh, first we gotta head down Hollywood Boulevard to the back lot and just take that in, you guys. That is the most full I have seen Hollywood Boulevard in quite a while. Wow. That is a good size showing here. All this without the red car trolley as well. Good news is they have the red car out there for folks to take photo ops. We mentioned that in our report 2 weeks ago, but it's nice to see at least, the red car out there. Although I wish we could have one out here on Hollywood Boulevard as well. It would look great out there in front of the animation building. No red car, but we do have the 5 and Dime. Hey, how's it going? A couple of friends there. Also, the guy on bass, we just captured him. What was it, last week? During shooting our construction video, we caught him as part of the Bootstrappers. He's a friend of the Bootstrappers as well. I just love how, a lot of these performers here go from, show to show. The face characters, the band members, they're all just here to perform and put on a show for you guys. Maybe it's Bootstrappers, maybe it's the 5 and Dime. I think it's all great. A little show here for the Imagination Campus in the back lot. I love the style of dancing and the music. And the vibe has extended back here as well to the back lot. So far, so good on bringing that energy to all parts of the park. Let's go see if they're showing up to Mike and Sully to the rescue. Looks like that might be a yes, 45 minutes posted, and it's not very often where you see a posted wait time higher than the actual wait time here at Monsters. If it's posted 45, they probably mean it. There's lightning lane. It's actually kind of standard. I don't hate that. Everybody, when you see lightning lane sitting on the rails, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. No, so the queue is actually shorter than I would have expected. 45 minutes would typically put you all the way to the rear, the last planter or two. But it looks like, yeah, they're not, there's just two. It's well, more three. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 sections here that are empty. But something doesn't feel right about those guests in the lightning lane queue, sitting. That's just, something's wrong. Something's wrong inside Monster, so maybe that could be why. Hey, how's it going?
Like and subscribe.
Thank you. So I think there's something afoot here at Monster, so we can't really learn much. They're not down, it's not closed, they're still open. They're letting guests through into the queue, but it could be like a micro breakdown. That's one of those situations where it's like hard to make a decision because there's so few attractions here at DCA that you're like, well, I don't like that, so what are we gonna do instead? I don't know. You know what you could do? This is a great time, I don't want to call it wasting time, but if you want to stall, if you want to stay in the neighborhood to see if Monsters Inc. improves, right next door to the Monsters Inc. show building is stage 23. And that's where they've got Mickey's Fail Harm Magic. Shows running, I don't know, like every 10 or 15 minutes or so. And then right across the street, you've got the animation building where you got Turtle Talk with Crush. Shows run there every 30 minutes. Same for the Animation Academy. This is where you draw. They teach you how to draw every 30 minutes here as well. And then of course they have the Anna and Elsa meet and greet in the round of, on the other side of those walls you can meet Anna and Elsa. That looks like probably a 20, 30 minute wait, maybe more for that. So all in, I would expect you could probably, kill about 30, 45 minutes in that range for any one of those choices while you're waiting to see what's gonna happen with Monsters Inc. I would say this, if you saw that situation that we're seeing over there at Monsters today on your next visit, it doesn't cost you anything to look around, to do one of those 4 things that I just showed you. I wouldn't expect that queue to get worse unless the ride broke down, which then again, you've saved yourself some time sitting in the queue idling and doing nothing. I don't expect it would get much worse, if at all, than the present 45 minutes. Except in this case, it did get worse. So I don't get everything right. Look at the size of that queue right there. That's all lightning lane. Let's go take a quick peek at the back. Oh my gosh. Not only did it get worse, it got incredibly worse. They filled those last 3 sections, plus it's coming around the side, plus you got that lightning lane out there. Net result is now a posted 60-minute wait for Monster. We have been here, let's see. It's a Monday, as usual. It is 12:47. We've been here for less than an hour, and already we've seen queues, or one situation of gargantuan proportions. This is intense. Wow, look at this. The lightning lane queue is bursting. It's about to come out the threshold. I almost feel like, do they think they're in standby? But then I want to know who's going to get in that standby queue. You see that? Is that a queue you want to get into? Like, no, I'm not even getting anywhere near that. You know what I would do at this point right now is go to the studio catering truck and get some more Food and Wine Festival food. I had a lot of things that I had my eye on, and we happened to stop by the studio catering truck, and I'm like, this was not where I was going to go. But this looks so good, and I always have such good luck with the studio catering truck. They never miss, so I'm always pretty confident whenever I decide to eat here. This is going to be the salsa verde chicharron tacos. It's pork belly chicharron tossed in warm salsa verde, topped with salsa macha and pickled onions. Now, as I understand it, chicharron can be either pork belly, as is the case here, or pork rinds, like the skin, and then it's deep fried. I don't have a lot of experience eating these. I've had a few, on a few occasions, but I don't have a lot of reference. But I'm hoping for something kind of salty, kind of crunchy, even if it's the pork. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just take this piece. Oh. So, yeah, that is crunchy. I was looking at that, I'm like, that looks like it's just gonna be chewy pork belly. Although pork belly is typically very fatty and not very chewy, and it just kind of melts in your mouth. So in my mind, I've got like the pork belly you get at Bengal barbecue, but this was very crunchy and quite chewy. Let's put it all together with the tortilla and the pickled onions, the salsa verde, and salsa matcha in a big bite. Cheers, FreshBaked. Wow. That is really interesting. It's so unexpected for, a weirdo like me to find something like this that just really unexpected. It's not what I thought, and it's in a good way. Very delicious. By the way, these are $13.99 for two. They look tiny, because the shell or the tortilla is not very big. It looks like a street taco, but there's a good 10, 12 chunks, good sized chunks of the pork belly in there. So you're getting a lot of protein for the price, I think. It seems like it anyway. This is great. Well, actually, now that I think about it, as I keep working on this, I could have used a little bit more something else besides the protein. There's so much in there that it's kind of dominating now the meal. And I'm not sure, as small as these are, I'm not sure if I can finish both of these. All in, I'm really enjoying this. This is kind of nice, and it was, again, very surprising texture-wise. I maybe all in with the pork and the onions and the salsa and all that. I'm gonna give this a B+. That's pretty good. See if I can't finish this and we'll get back to the show. Okie doke, let's get the heck out of Hollywood. I've had enough of this. We'll get into Avengers Campus next by way of the Hyperion Theater. One thing you can't do if you're trying to kill time in Hollywood for monsters is see a show at the Hyperion. It's funny, we talk about the Hyperion show, how there's nothing happening here, and what a shame that is. And killing time in that same, similar conversation. When you went to the Hyperion Theater, you killed a lot of time. It took an hour and a half to see a show here. And now I'm going back and I'm like, oh God, when they were doing, Aladdin or even Frozen, I was like, no man, I ain't got time for the Hyperion Theater. I wonder if that's a factor in Disney's decision. Probably not, because they filled it's not like, that was a reason why people didn't show up. They filled this show every single day. Every single showtime, it was always busy, always full. There was just crowds and crowds of people out here. Do you guys remember that? Waiting in all these little switchbacks and everything, just sitting there waiting for the show. I would only come and see a show here at the Hyperion if I made like a plan. Like today, this week, we're gonna see a show. It wasn't like a casual thing that I did. I'm not sure if anybody did, because it literally took about an hour and a half. The show itself, the Aladdin show, was that was a good hour almost. 45 minutes at least, plus there was the time spent waiting in the queue and all that, oh man. So I almost feel like I'm talking out my butt when I say that I missed the shows, because I never went. I really never went unless I had to make a very concerted effort to do so. But no, as for Disney's case, there's no show here because they hate live entertainment. That's the bottom line. They don't like to pay entertainers, period. As for Avengers Campus and Mission Breakout, normally our next stop, nothing to report here. Today is day one of a 10-day closure, 11-day closure. Today's the first day, March 10th. It'll be closed until March 20th, and then back online on March 11th. I'm sorry, March 21st. So nothing to report here. Hopefully they're fixing the Lift A Alpha. That's the one that's been having the most problems, lately, or before they did an update where they had to fix Charlie. They've been running just two lifts, maybe, I would say probably most of the time. Every time you come through here, there's always at least one down. So hopefully they get that remedied here in that 10-day closure. surprisingly no effect on the amount of guests here in the common areas with Mission Breakout being closed. You would expect that to reduce the amount of traffic that's coming in and out of the land. But this is, it's a fairly decent showing here. Let's go take a look at Pim Test Kitchen. It is 12:58. Pretty close to our typical time for checking in here. Well. They're here for lunch. That's what all these people are doing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 30 people. Awesome. I had half a mind to eat here today. You know what? I was trying to figure out what to eat because I so want to get those new wings. We showed those 2 weeks ago. Still haven't had a chance to try those yet. You know who did? I think Magic Journeys and Ordinary Adventures have done taste tests. I'm gonna have to go watch their videos and see if I can't, get an eye on what that might be like, because they look great. They look great, and the pizza. I did have that pizza over there, the shawarma 2. That was nice. As for the Avengers Vault, we'll just do okay. We like to do a vibe check in here as well, just to kind of get a sense of crowd densities and how difficult it is to walk through here. Last couple of trips have been very easy, but this one's a little sideways. I'm having to sidestep, pause, move. It's not an easy, I'm gonna have to figure out a way through this right now, right? And this is how I determine how busy the park is often. It's just how difficult it is to get from point A to point B. Do you find yourself ducking and dodging? And that one was a little tough. Good job, Avengers Campus, for the people showing up here. I love it. So that's good news, man. Place is pretty busy today. Still lots and lots of demand here at Avengers Campus. And good news for those people who do love Marvel and they want more Avengers Campus. Something's coming. They're under construction now on the other side of that wall right there. They are building the new Avengers Infinity Defense e-ticket attraction. I'm gonna, at the risk of, I don't want to get too deep into this because I want to keep this show moving, but recently there's been new video revealed about the initial launch of the ride vehicle and what the showroom is going to look like, or at least part of it anyway. And I want to say that ride vehicle doesn't give me a lot of confidence, I have to say. Although I have a different standard than a lot of other folks might. So, I like low tech, I like lo-fi, I like things to be understated, not overstated, right? So, but that vehicle looks a lot like a Transformers vehicle. It also looks a lot like the Peter Pan. I want to say, I can't remember if it's Hong Kong or I don't know which one. It's one of the overseas lands or parks. And I have a feeling they're using similar tech there. So I'm not completely encouraged by that. I'm also not completely encouraged by the fact that there's 3D glasses in that same video. They show 3D glasses. This is gonna, they really shouldn't be making 3D rides today. Hey guys, how are you? I feel like the 3D is that's a dead tech. Nobody cares. I don't even wear the glasses. When I go to Web Slingers or Star Tours, or when I take the tram over at Universal, I don't even wear the glasses. I hate it. Again, I'm not sure if that's, if I could speak for everybody on that. Some people love it, but I just can't believe they're doing that. One thing that does really interest me though is the fact that they showed this, there's a scene in there where it looks like, hey, how are you? It looks like the Volume. And I don't know if you've seen the Volume, Mandalorian, the show The Mandalorian. They filmed those shows in this theater in the round, studio in the round. And there's screens that it's a 360, kind of circle around, right? And they project the backgrounds, and then the actors act in front of those backgrounds. It looks a lot like that. And I heard Kevin Feige say that was, or was it Jon Favreau? Now I can't remember, but one of those guys were talking about how, I think it was Kevin Feige, how they were borrowing tech from the Volume, from the Mandalorian, and using that in here. So maybe that's what that is. So there's, I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of optimistic about that. But those other things, the ride vehicle and the glasses, don't look all that great to me. They also showed some footage, like behind the scenes footage and an animatic for the Stark Flight Lab attraction. That's like the B ride to the new what's going on down there. the only thing I want to say about that is that it's going to make me puke. I'll write it once probably, and then maybe not go back again. I'm not sure. I can't do the kuka arm very well, but that's not really my, what I want to talk about. I hear people saying, well, how come it's not? There's no room to put it in. Like they should have put it in a theater of some kind, screens, etc. Instead of making it just robot arms, putting things on a track. And I feel like that was the point. I feel like the point is the tech. The tech is the show. The tech is the star. And so the fact that they have to use the robot arm to attach to the vehicle and then put that on a track is, I feel like that is the show. And being able to see that, and it brings you in to, the training facility that Tony Stark has built. I think that was done by design, and it's not a matter of cost cutting or anything like that. Frankly, I'm fine because I don't need another projection. I don't need any more. I don't need any more projections. Thank you very much. I got more to say on that. I got more to talk about, but I may save that for a separate video, maybe on FreshBaked Presents. For now, we need to check out Web Slingers, which has got a posted wait time right now of 50 minutes, but the queue looks pretty nominal, I think. Well, for 50, I guess that's about right. It's starting to grow here a little bit, and I know already that the queue does stretch out behind into the blue bullpen. So they are running at full capacity here. They're pretty much using most of the queue. And in spite of the posted wait 50 minutes, and in spite of the queue looking as it does, people are still filing in here into Web Slingers. I was thinking about this off camera and about Avengers Campus in general, and how I hear a lot about how people don't like this land. I hear a lot about how people are over Marvel or they don't like Web Slingers, and yet this place is just still busy as heck, and they got a full queue back there. We got a full queue back there for Web Slingers. I mean, so maybe some people aren't telling the truth. I don't know. And that's Avengers Campus. Oh, hey guys, Food and Wine is going. Woo! Man, Food and Wine has to be hyped this year. We ate at all of these booths. That's the new one there, Mercado de Antojos. They've got some amazing birria mac and cheese. The raspberry horchata was really good there. The blueberry pancake cold brew over here at Golden Dreams was really, really good. The cherry cobbler pot de creme. I'm still thinking about that. Glazed fruit is amazing. Oh man, I got more to say about Food and Wine also. I talked about that in the intro. I'm still not ready to get into that because we got to get into our next stop. We got to get over to Cars Land. But man, Food and Wine this year. And so far, I got to say, we haven't even gotten into the parade quarter. I hope that we can show this at some point. That's nuts right there. But so far, I got to say that the crowd densities have maintained their vigor. It is a very intense crowd today. I've spoken to a few fans of the show, and every single one that I've talked to said, man, it's busy today. Busier than I expected. And I would have to say, I think I agree with that. Evidenced by a 35-minute wait at Raiders Junkyard Jamboree. I'm not sure if this is 35 minutes, but still, the fact that they put 35 minutes on that board tells you that they're ready, and they're expecting big crowds here. I mean, it's kind of full right here. That's almost the entire queue, but this thing works so briskly. It's a fairly efficient attraction, so it processes guests quickly. But I think that you could probably get this done in under 35. It's on here at California at Cars Land. It feels like it's hype. It feels like summer's here already. It feels like that's what I'm getting. I'm getting like midsummer vibes. I'm getting midsummer crowd vibes. It's warm. I'm a little toasty. I wore this sweater, but maybe I shouldn't have. But it's such a hype vibe right here. I'm in the Cozy Cones. I just want to check in and see how the traffic is holding up back here. We've got modest queues here at each of the cones. Ice cream cones is not too bad. I'm looking at pickup. All that is just, there's nobody here at regular pickup, just mobile order. Cone queso, that's mobile order pickup right there. Only one person in standby. Look at this queue developing for concoctions. It's strange, it's weird to see which cone is busy that day because it's never this, well, it's hardly ever Popcone, okay, we'll say that. The pickle flavored popcorn is not always the, hey, how are you? It's not always the biggest, get here at Cozy Cones, but often this queue is dead. So this is not too bad. It's not looking too bad here. A lot of folks here placing orders, so I think the word is getting out. Start here, pick up there. It's less. There's less congestion right here in this path. Except for me, I'm the only one who's causing it right now. Let's get out of here. Now I'm wondering if I should give. Oh gosh, I was just gonna ask. Should I give Luigi's another shot today? Because I don't think anything's gonna work today. But I've been failing at Luigi's so much lately, so much. But look at this. It says 30 minutes, which is not objectively bad. But look at come on. How is that 30? We never see the queue out here. At the threshold right there. That's about it, typically. Never out here. My gosh, the people are here today. Whew, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get on a ride. Red's here. Does Red go to Red's Community Garden? Let's find out. It looks like he does, maybe. Oh no, I thought he might pull in right here, but I guess not. But he's in the neighborhood at least. Where's he gonna go? Over the, maybe at the other end over there. There's a little parking spot that way. Yep, he's gonna pull into that little cubby right there. I was low-key hoping he would pull in there. That would have been kind of cool. There's not a lot of room there though. There's not a lot of room for a big fat fire truck. Guess that's gonna take us to Radiator Springs Racers next, which I am fully expecting this to be a total disaster, considering the queues we've seen at Luigi's and Mater's, and Monsters Inc. for that matter. Oh man. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. I think that's Lightning Lane. Oh, that's not good, you guys. That's when you turn around and just go do something else again. Like, I hate having to do that at every attraction, but my goodness.
So you have to park.
It's not, okay, so the good thing is that it's just a backup right now because they're having to scan that gets in. By the way, they just went from 90 to 85. So that's interesting that they ducked it by 5 minutes, but the queue hasn't, the queue itself is not completely impacted. The guests on the outer ring. Hey, how's it going? These guests right here, that's Lightning Lane. Let's see if we can see them stop anywhere in frame, but I see them going all the way through. Yeah, they're passing through the second bridge. So okay, it's not as bad as it looks when you pull into the exterior queue, the threshold. Ay. Nevertheless, though, it does still say 85 minutes. Man, I just can't, man. 85 minutes. And you're gonna feel most of that too. I have not. We did a whole video on trying to break down the Radiator Springs queue and trying to find discounts and maybe break somewhere. But most of the time, on most occasions, especially right now, midday like this, most of the time, that time is right. Like, they talk about how Disneyland gets it wrong for various reasons. You want to have your conspiracy theories on that? Hi, guys. But they get it right here at Radiator Springs Racers most of the time. And the variance is very nominal. So you're gonna wait all that 85 minutes, and you're gonna feel it. Quick stop over here at Flo's V8 Cafe before leaving Cars Land. Another busy queue there. That's above average. A little more than normal. People are ready to pick up their food there. Leaving Cars Land. It's up to 40 now. It's up to 40. They're over here. They're over here behind the fence. Oh my God. The queue is behind the fence. This is not a drill. The queue is behind the fence. I'm going out this way because I want to show you guys the parade corridor here for food and wine. Ay, ay, ay. Right? People are here. They're here for food and wine, by the way. That's what they're here for. And this is at, where are we now? 2:02 in the afternoon. Food and wine is a 5, you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do. You know, it hits and misses, but it's still fun, no matter how you do it. It's always an adventure. There's going to be like, is it going to be good? Is it not? You know, what's, you know, the drinks, the food, the crowds. Oh my God, here it comes. Woo. Wow, wow, wow. Couple quick pit stops here before we get to San Fransokyo. Garlic kiss, the sirloin Gruyere. I think that's how you say that. Mac and cheese, outstanding. California craft brews. Oh, there it is. Sloppy Joe slider, terrible. This was gross, but that was the best thing we had all day. Lemon pepper wings. You could taste every bit of the lemon and salt on those wings. I'm still thinking, did you guys see our video? We had so much fun at Food and Wine last time, man. We had so much fun. I got a little tipsy and we were dancing and eating and having a great time, hanging out with friends, trying all the foods. It was outstanding. We had an amazing time at Food and Wine. I hope you guys check that video out. If you haven't, please do. But for now, we're going into San Fransokyo. Stay tuned though, I got some thoughts. I got some comments on Food and Wine here still. Today we're going the other direction. We didn't come through Cars Line because I wanted to check out that parade corridor, but here we go. We're just gonna do a quick drive-by. Oh, you know, this is great. This is the proper way, right? We're doing it right. My favorite thing, going over this bridge and into San Fransokyo, which looks absolutely packed. Man. Yeah, I don't see any open tables so far. I see a crowded walkway right here. Cerveceria's got a little bit of a queue going on. How about that queue for Cocina Cucamonda? Look, they've got some horchata here as well. Strawberry horchata or horchata with rum. I would like to try those at some point. This is the nastiest queue I think I've ever seen at Cocina. This right here, they've escaped. They've escaped the queue. We are now wild, into wild space. That always scares me when I see guests outside the pen. That always scares me. Like, oh my God, what am I in for today? How about Baymax? Oh, Baymax and Hero today. That's great. Let's go check over here at Lucky Fortune Cookery. Good sized queue here as well. And again, nobody's in mobile order to pick up. Guys, use mobile order, please. I'm begging you. It works. It saves you a ton of time. And you don't have to sit there and wait. You could be doing something else. While waiting for your food to be prepared for you, you could be doing something else. We'll hop across the way to Antcast Cafe. Oh my. Now that's a pickup. These guys are using mobile order. There's a lot of folks in here picking up mobile order, but also a lot of folks over there in standby out the door. And I'm really glad I got out of there when I did, because the smell of sourdough bread in there was so intoxicating that I was gonna stop and get a bread bowl. But I can't, I don't have time for that. There it is, yeah. There's the back of Antcast Cafe. That's one of the coolest things about being in an experience like this, being in a park and having all this sensory input coming at you. But one of those things, one of those great things is the smells that you get, like when you pass by Antcast Cafe, you walk by Bengal Barbecue at Disneyland, or downtown Disney. Oh my gosh, when you walk by Wetzel's Pretzels or the ice cream shop next door, you can smell the cones. When you smell those cones, and you smell that buttery pretzels. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Hi guys. I'm losing my mind. Those tacos weren't they weren't a whole meal. Maybe I've got room for a little more food today. I don't know, we'll have to maybe make some room, make some time. Time now, though, for the tip board. And we'll start all the way into the G's with Golden Zephyr at 20 minutes. My goodness. You telling me that Golden Zephyr has a queue at the bottom? Yeah, of course it is. It's a busy day. Goofy Sky School, 40 minutes, or 45, with a return time in 3 hours. That's pretty standard, actually. And Credit Coaster, 45 minutes above normal. Return time in an hour and a half. Looking forward to checking that out. Let's see, Jumpin' Jellyfish, also 20 minutes. It's just crowds every. 20 minutes is a lot. I'm just saying, for Jumping Jellyfish. That's why I'm shocked. Look, what the heck? Little Mermaid is 55 minutes. What in the name of the undersea is going on there? 55. I just took a look back there. I don't know, man. I can't wait to see that one. A return time of now. Luigi's is at 20. Yeah, we missed that. Mater's is down to 30. It was up to 40. Monsters Inc. standard at 45. Return time 2.5 hours. The most undeserving hype for Monsters Inc. I mean, it's good, but it's not 45 minutes good. Am I right? Radiator Springs Racers is now up to 120 minutes. All those Lightning Lane guests are starting to impact the queue there. It was at 85 when we left. Now 120 minutes. And then Sleigh Symphony, 20. That's pretty okay. Soarin' is at 50. That's for a day like today. Actually, that's not too bad. You might find a normal wait there. Same for Toy Story. Actually, 40 minutes for today is light. I wonder what's going. That can't be right. I'll bet you anything it's not 40 minutes. Return time in over 4 hours. And then Web Slingers 45. Also return time in 3.5. My goodness. Okay. Busy day out there, guys. I've been vibing out here at the World of Color, viewing area for the better part of about 45 minutes, I think. It really is just the best. They really did something here. It's surprising that they spent so much real estate on nothing. Well, it's viewing area for World of Color, but besides that, it's just a big giant queue for World of Color. But the other 12 hours or whatever that the place is not open, it's nothing. And but it's still great. Excellent place to just chill, have your food and wine food, and enjoy the sounds of the pier on the other side. I absolutely love it here. This is such a great thing. And I love that they went ahead and invested that real estate in order to do this. We're gonna leave this scene because there's a couple more booths down here, and maybe wrap up that, or really get into the topic that I wanted to get into with regard to food and wine. Cluckle Moo, excuse me. The tiki cocktail was good, but the asados, I keep saying it wrong, asados, that was pretty good also. And back here by Grizzly River Run, LA Style, this was probably Liz's favorite booth. They've got the LA street dog, the mini street dog, and then the Western Barbecue Bao, which both me and Miguel and Janelle from Magic Journeys compared it to the Western Bacon Cheeseburger at Carl's Jr., which I thought was very interesting. And the Cantorito style Paloma was outstanding. All of that was good. Look at the queue over here. People are down for some LA Style. We're gonna come back here in a little bit. Now, one thing that I mentioned in our video, our food and wine video, is that I observed that we're down 2 booths, at least 2, maybe, and then 3 from the year before. But last year I saw in our video that we had 10 booths, and I forget the number of foods, but now we're down to 8 booths and a few fewer items to choose from. And that's down from, as I mentioned, 2023. So I'm like observing that, I'm like, gosh, what's going on here? Why do they keep shrinking the booths? And I hear other people, there's chatter about that, and what does that mean, if it's good or bad? And at first my initial reaction was, that's not great. I wonder what they're doing. Why are they shrinking? Is it not going well? Or maybe they don't want to invest as much. But this is one of those cases where I feel like less is more. That it's not necessarily a better thing. Just to have more booths makes the show better. Because the one thing that I observed on this evening is that the food was definitely better this year. Definitely better than other events, and definitely better than the food in the previous 2 years. There was good food, but not across the board. We only had like 2 misses, I think. The Sloppy Joe and I can't remember the other one. Anyway, just a couple misses, but everything else is great. The drinks are great. It was well done, and also just the vibe and how much fun we had. Being able to just enjoy the event more and not feeling overwhelmed by it. I felt like Liz and I had such an amazing time, and that's really the bottom line. The level of fun that we're having, or that we had, was not based on how many booths there were. It doesn't really make any difference how many booths there are. How good is the food? How much fun do you have? A+ for both of us. So I just want to comment on that, because we kind of instinctively react to everything that Disney does, and often we assume the worst, we assume the negative. But I don't think that's the case here. There are cases where more is more. You know what I mean? Like 90s night. They could have used the more is more philosophy at 90s night. They definitely went less is more, and it was to the detriment. So I'm not saying this is across the board type situation. This is a win. Food and Wine was a win this year. Absolutely well done. And I'm happy that we did it, and I want to eat more of it. We had another one today. That was outstanding, and I'm ready for more. I want to go to Paradise Garden and try some of that food over there. Okay, then. With that, we'll take this show into Pixar Pier with all the bubbles. Get those bubbles in my frame. There you go. I love bubbles in camera. That's just, bubbles are happy. You know what I mean? And I'm a happy guy. And when I see bubbles, I think happy. Yay. All right, let's get serious. I'm not all park science and serious business. I have a happy heart, and I love to see happy happen around me. But alas, like I said, we got work to do. We're going to check in on Incredicoaster. We're going to start seeing queues climb over here for adorable snowman. It's getting to be Pixar Pier Parfait season.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And there they go. We'll stop first. There it is, right there. That's the Pixar Pier Parfait. Look at it. Oh, there's another one. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's the back of the single rider queue. Woo! That was almost some more than I could bear. That's a very, very intense queue for single rider queue for Incredicoaster. Not a bargain. You might save a few minutes, but there's no guarantee you're going to beat standby there. We tested it. It was like 50 to 40 last time we saw a busy day. Hey, look, they fixed the queue. This is how you're supposed to come up and loop around. Hi, guys. They had this rope down, like that, yeah. So, but they got it right this time. They got it right. Thank goodness. But I don't like seeing this queue out here. I forgot to mention that. Don't like seeing the queue out here on the actual pier collecting guests. That is not a good sign. That's already on a fast track for probably a 45-minute queue plus. And it's even more hectic in here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it does say 45 minutes. Just look at all this. This is all lightning lane right here. That queue right there, that's all lightning lane. Oh, no. Oh, I don't like the looks of this. Folks standing. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to wind my way through here. Lightning lane. Oh boy. It's coming down the second ramp. Wow. Not ideal, you guys. If you're in standby, not ideal. Guys, it is a day here. It is a day here at DCA. I'm not finding any breaks. You know, like, oh, I don't want to do Monsters, Inc. Let's go find something else. What are you going to do? You spend your whole day at Mickey's PhilharMagic? No, you've got to get in one of these queues. Something's got to be a go. Where are the goes? Maybe you just spend your whole day on Jesse's Critter Carousel. That's always a go. Never said no to Jesse's in terms of queue size, am I right? More intensity coming. Wow. Whew. Saw on the tip board before that Toy Story was at 40 minutes, and that's what's posted here. They've got this at 40. I don't think so. Are we even going to be able to? Oh my gosh. Okay. Back of the queue is out here. Like, usually it's a bad day if you're out here in this pen, but not that. When this starts to fill up, that's the negative Ghost Rider. Luckily, there's not a lot of action. There's no action right now. Just maybe 4 or 5 guests in lightning lane right there. So that's got to be helpful. But when you know, in the aggregate, when you look at the tip board and you're trying to figure out what to do next, this is going to draw a lot of guests. You're going to see Toy Story at 40. It's going to draw a lot of guests. I hope that you chose this already. For those of you who are in the queue right now, I hope you got in there before everybody else did, because that is going to bring in. Because you're going to see no's like we said, like Incredicoaster, that looks like a no. Soarin' looked like a no. We haven't got there yet, but I can already tell. I can already imagine it. It's California. We'll talk about that. So I stepped away for about 10 minutes to pick up some B-roll and let this queue, to see what happens with the queue. I checked in on the Incredicoaster, still bonkers. Even Jesse's Criticarousel was looking even more busy. The queue is starting to poke out of the threshold. It came back to Toy Story Midway Mania to find it had gone up from 40 to 50, and now it's 60. And as expected, it's drawing a lot of guests. They have now filled up. Standby. I can't remember the last time I have seen standby fill the entire queue. There's nowhere else to go. It's full in there. It's full over there. It's full out here. They're about ready to break out of this. And meanwhile, Lightning Lane's still good. We're still good with Lightning Lane. There's like 5 or 6 guests over there right now. It's that 40-minute wait time that is just drawing people in. And some people are already saying, like, you know what, that's no good. I don't like it. So it's, that 60 minutes is going to start being a call to action to stay away as opposed to come. And I think what happened is somebody saw the 40. Some of these guests are leaving. They saw the 40. They're like, let's get there. They got here like, oh crap, this is not what we bargained for, and they're bouncing. But that took 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm going to try to come back to that in a little bit. I've been watching. Oh, Jesse and Woody. Oh, howdy, howdy, howdy. Yay! Well, that'll make everything all right. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a little bit. I marked the back of the queue a little while ago. It's been let's see, 17 minutes since I checked the back of the queue. So they're probably in the covered area. Hopefully they get done in 40 minutes. Let's check the Pixar Pal Around next, where I'm expecting more disaster to be sure. 30 minutes for swinging gondolas, and that's optimistic. Very full queue down here, and it's about ready to burst out into the extra queue out this way. That's an optimistic 30 minutes. I mean, the good news is you get 2 sides. They can move twice as fast as this queue does, which is posted at 45 minutes, and that is, in fact, a disaster. The back of the queue is at the top of the ramp there, and if things get any worse, they too might start to run out into the common area, which, by the way, most of the time that doesn't happen. These things are self-regulating. Most queues are, and after a couple minutes, this will shrink down. But it's getting close. But that is just a diabolical looking queue. I would not want to wait, no matter how badly I wanted to go up there in a non-swinging gondola, which often I very badly do because I do it for work, and I have to be on this thing at least once a week. I'm not sure if I would get in that queue. If I had to do my recon right now for Avengers Campus, I'm not sure. I might go jump on some silly Symphony, kill some time, and see if it gets a little better, because I don't think it can get worse. I don't think it can get worse. What about Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind? I'm looking for a bargain. I'm looking to get into an attraction. Let's sneak around the corner here. It says 30. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's post at 30. This means I probably won't be able to check in at the back of the queue for Toy Story, but I have a feeling that the point in the queue that I checked was going to get into the ride vehicle in 40 minutes. The groups after that, probably no such luck. But let's see if this one holds up at 30 minutes. Let's get that clock started. Shocking. We're on our number in just 15 minutes. 2.5 minutes around or so, and we'll be in our boat in 18 total. So remarkably efficient from Emotional Whirlwind. Well done. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to shoot our intro for this video now. Well, there you go, guys. We already nailed it. Intro is shot. Did you guys get the rest of the ride? It didn't even break down like it did last time.
Wow, thanks so much for screaming.
And that's it. I got a couple minutes. I want to check in on Toy Story. I want to check in on Toy Story and Critical to see how things have resulted after. It's been 45 minutes now since we left the back of the queue at Toy Story. And as I thought might be the case, they were able to work out this queue, so it didn't burst out into the walkway. Although Lightning Lane, it looks like it's starting to show up a little bit more. But this looks almost manageable. And they still got it posted at 65, so that's why. That's not a 65-minute queue, but it says it is. That's telling people to stay away. The longer they keep that 65 up, the shorter that standby queue is going to get. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the flip like that. You're looking for the opposite. That's one of our tips that we gave in our 8 expert hacks video. Look for the opposite. Things got better at Toy Story, but it looks like they've gotten worse here. I don't even know what to make of this going on here at Credicoaster. This reminds me of that scene we found about this time last year, where you could barely walk through this space. There's a whole bunch of guests up there. Actually, seeing the rider up the hill doesn't look too bad. But this is nasty. It's actually coming around the corner, is it? No, this is the back right here. They're trying to, oh no, this is going to get really nasty here real soon. The back of the queue keeps appending to about where I'm standing. You're seeing people come around. The reason why it's still growing in spite of the fact that it looks terrifying, and there's almost always a reason, let me assure you, is because they reduced it from 45 to 35 on the posted wait time. They lowered it. So what we've got here is kind of a repeat of the Toy Story situation where that lower than expected wait time is drawing crowds. This is getting crazy here at Incredicoaster. I almost want to stand by and watch. Meanwhile, the back of the standby queue is growing out here as I turn around, trying to make my way out of that crowd. Oh my gosh. That is something. It's like loose, like you don't really know what you're doing. There's a lot of confusion. Because they're out, they've broken containment. You know, they're out of the ropes, and you're not really sure where it begins and where it ends. But where else do you send them from here? There's no place else to put guests here. And what's the plan B as a guest? What's the plan B? Jesse's. Animation building and talk to Fresh. By the way, I did also find the back of the queue. We marked that back of the queue over an hour ago now at this point. But I did catch them. They came out, the back of the queue came out of the attraction, the ride, at about 55 minutes. Figure 5 minutes in ride. You know, the load time, get out of the queue and all that stuff takes about 5 minutes to do all that. So we'll say it was a total of 50 minutes. So it was posted 45, and they actually got in 50. So that's not terrible. And then we'll pick up where we left off with Emotional Whirlwind, checking out Silly Symphony, and you can see guests down there in that little corner. That's a bad look, you guys. For Silly Symphony, that's a bad look. You don't want to see guests poking out of that corner. It says 15 minutes, but heck no. It's not egregiously wrong. It's not 15. It could be even 30. Actually, that could be 30. I'm just trying to guess rotations here. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 rotations. So, 5 minutes each, 25 minutes. These conversations, they're always relative. When I see that queue, I'm like, God, that looks sick. It's only because I've never seen or don't often see queues in that space, but that attraction still, it's one of those that doesn't go quick, but they can also cycle a lot of guests at one time. And it's only like a 4 or 5 minute rotation. So if 5 or 6 rotations, you're still looking at 25 minutes. That's pretty good for today, That's a go, considering, relatively speaking. Meanwhile, at Jellyfish, anytime you have 2, what do you call it? I don't know. 2 sets of jellyfish working, that's a go, that's always good. You need 2, you gotta have 2. Goofy Sky School. I'm gonna expect something nasty here. Something very nasty. And nasty it is. 65 minutes. 65 for Goofy Sky School. Look at how full the garden is today. They're not using all of it. There's still a little room. But dang. And in this case, I feel like they're actually erring on the right side. It's probably not going to be 65. It depends on lightning lane, but there's back lightning lane queue is actually, geez, it's actually right there, which is, that's lengthy. But, that could be temporary. That doesn't have to be a permanent situation. We've got some switchbacks here they're not using. So 65 is probably on the high side, but I feel like it's better. Hey guys, I feel like you're better off, operationally of calling it 65 than you are calling it 45 or 50. This is, you got to keep this. 65 is definitely a call to action to stay away from here. This is the last time we saw a Golden Zephyr flying when we walked by. It's usually either closed or they're in between rotations. I hardly even catch it flying. That's pretty great. 15 minutes, that's, easy peasy. That's a go for sure. But Little Mermaid, they're in bonus territory. Wow. Now it looks bad when you see it out here. Again, they're kind of like Silly Symphony. It looks bad, but this little addition is just another 3 or 4 minutes to what you normally wait. So it looks very scary, and I'm sure they're going to have it. We saw it at 45 minutes when we checked the tip board earlier. Can't imagine Little Mermaid would ever be 45 minutes. For real, I mean, like an actual 45 minutes. There isn't really a queue. Kind of like Pirates, Little Mermaid, there's no queue that I'm afraid of here. There's no posted wait time that I'm afraid of. I don't believe 45 minutes, not even for a minute. I hear the sounds of the jammin' chefs.
Never any adding weird ingredients.
What do they got? Yeah, they got it still posted at 45 minutes here. It's not. It's probably 30, if that, maybe even under 30.
I think you will never find in my kitchen is any chipmunky business.
Chipmunks! Ah! And we have finally made it back to Grizzly Peak, where I still see an enormous queue for LA style. People are hyped for the mini hot dog and the bacon cheeseburger. Oh my gosh! Hi. It's like a queue let out. The flow of traffic that was coming at me just a second ago, it was as if I was trying to walk in through the outdoor at Radiator Springs Racers or something. That's okay. That's not so. Oh, look at that! Look at. Water in the river. It's rushing. There you go. We're in the New Log neighborhood. Those logs right there, that one, this one right here, those are all new. The water is rushing in the river. It looks good. The water's different. There's a different color to it. It's a little bluer, a little clearer than it was in the past, if memory serves. It's good to see that back again, just in time for the warm weather to get here. They've even gone as far as taking the walls down out here near the entrance. It's almost time for Grizzly to come back. It's exciting. There you go. It doesn't look like they're testing the geysers yet, so we don't know whether or not any of these are working. There we go. That's the view I've been hoping to see. Look at that water coming down from the last drop. The tides are kicking up here. That looks great. Waterfall over there in the piles. I think I'm going to ride soon. And then finally, we've arrived at Soarin', and I said I was expecting something terrible here as well. And for sure, not only is it out here in this extended part, then now they're around the corner. They're almost in Judge Doom territory back there. Good golly, you really got to want to go on Soarin' right there. That's going to be a while. Now, Soarin' usually is a while. It's hardly ever anything under 30 minutes. But what I'm saying here is that it's going to be a while even for Soarin'. Like that could be 60, 70 minutes, I think. And already when you're in that queue, in that normal queue, you feel like you've been in it forever when you go through it. But then you got to go wait in that extra space. Oh yeah. Sure enough, that sign right there reads 65 minutes, and I'd be willing to guess that it's all of that. But you know what I haven't seen here in a very long time is a super long line for Lightning Lane. Remember when we would see it come around the corner? This time last year, we would come around the corner over there to Smoke Jumpers, but still nominal today. That's just, a handful of guests right there. Not too bad. We didn't even talk about it. I've sort of stopped talking about the discounted ticket, but but I've been alluding to it in a sense of talking about comparing what we're seeing now to what we saw a year ago. This isn't as bad as last year, where that discounted ticket, that $50 ticket, was just wreaking havoc on the park. That offer is still working today, it's still in existence today, or it has come around again, and it's available now. But I don't think it's just not as intense here as we saw during those few weeks last year. I want to say it's the same period. Hopefully I've got some footage of that we can share. But still though, I do think that what we're seeing here in March, the crowds, the extra crowds that we're seeing, I do think that a lot of that still has to do with that discounted ticket. And then interestingly, Disney has said that ticket ends on May 16th when the 70th starts, but there's a new offer that's going to come online after that. It's I think it's $100 a day for an adult, but you have to buy a 4-day ticket, which I don't know. I mean, I guess for the people coming in out of town, that's great, not for locals. I don't know how many locals are going to want to spend $400. Maybe they do. I don't know if it's $100 a day. I mean, it's a break, it's a discount, and it's during the peak season. It's during the 70th. But I wonder how much of that is, maybe Disney reacting to a lower demand than they were, because we're not as busy as we are this year than we were last year. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. You never really can tell. And that brings us back to the beginning at Buena Vista Street. What a day, huh? Another amazing, wonderful day here at the Disneyland Resort State of DCA report. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to watch our previous State of Disneyland report and our rope drop strategy guide. If you're rope dropping with Lightning Lane, it's an amazing, this is some good stuff. You guys need to check that video out if you're rope droppers and use Lightning Lane. Check that out as well. Otherwise, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.